John Deere is the world's largest producer of agricultural equipment and a leading manufacturer in the construction, forestry, and lawn care industries. Company-owned and affiliated factories in 11 countries manufacture products for sale in more than 160 countries. But the company is guided today, as it has been since 1837, by John Deere's personal commitment to product quality, customer service, and business integrity. Deere is the global market leader and the best recognized brand in the agricultural equipment business, and it got there by providing customers with genuine value in premium quality equipment and the best customer service with the most professional dealers. The company's beginnings can be traced to this blacksmith shop in Illinois. It was here in 1837 that John Deere forged the first self-scrubbing steel plow. His innovative plow design worked better in the sticky prairie soil than the cast iron plows of the day, and it was this product that led to large-scale farming in the fertile Midwestern prairies. His innovation might have been just a footnote in history, but John Deere went on to forge a way of doing business that remains central to the company today. He was committed to the creation and manufacture of farm equipment that helped farmers achieve greater productivity. He insisted on quality, and he stood behind the equipment he made, stressing the importance of fair dealing with all who came in contact with his company. From these simple beginnings, Deere & Company has grown into a global corporation, operating in all 24 time zones and more than 50 currencies and languages. Deere is a multinational firm with manufacturing joint ventures or assembly operations on every continent. Parts and components are shipped globally and utilized in the manufacture of original equipment in locations where the highest volume of such equipment is used. Yet the most impressive accomplishment of this American success story is Deere's ability to adapt and grow over its 160-year history, despite industrial downturns, worldwide turbulence, and fierce competition in its core business. Deere & Company represents a textbook example of how a company must continually adapt to environmental change through major shifts in corporate and marketing strategy in order to survive and prosper. The strategic planning process always begins with an analysis of the market and customer needs. For Deere's core business, agricultural equipment, this means developing estimates of demand for farm machinery and parts worldwide and identifying customer needs for new technology, product improvements, and service. Based on this knowledge, a marketing strategy is formulated which identifies specific customer targets and a set of marketing decisions based on the 4 Ps: product, price, place, and promotion, which comprise the marketing mix. The marketing mix decisions are considered to be controllable variables under the control of marketing managers, in that price, product, place, and promotion strategies can be changed through decision processes within the organization. Environmental variables are not under the control of marketing decision makers and will constrain their choices with respect to marketing strategies. The optimal strategy choices are those which can achieve the objectives of the firm, take advantage of the organization's resource strengths, and reflect adaptation to important environments, the political and legal environments, the competitive environment, and the socio-cultural environment. The essence of strategic planning is to make decisions which build upon the organization's strengths, mitigate its weaknesses, capitalize on market opportunities, and reduce exposure to environmental threats. To do this, organizations conduct a SWOT analysis, which provides the information upon which sound marketing decisions can be made. Deere & Company demonstrated its ability to adapt and survive adverse economic and political environmental changes throughout the 80s. After a period of record sales and profits in the 70s, the favorable economic and political environments for Deere's core business, agricultural equipment, abruptly changed, presenting Deere with a challenge just to survive. The 70s were years of bonanza for farm equipment companies because farmers were doing well during that period. Worldwide demand for grain was extremely high. Grain prices were high. Export trade was brisk. Farmers were making good profits, and it looked like agriculture was the place to be. But the economic and political environment shifted abruptly in 1979 when President Carter put into effect an embargo that stopped all grain shipments to the Soviet Union and its satellite countries. But the Soviets made up for the shortage by increasing purchases from Australia and Argentina. The effect on North American farmers was devastating, shutting them out of the world market, reducing their incomes at a time when they were highly leveraged, and starting a chain of farm bankruptcies, which by the end of the decade resulted in the collapse of the rural banking system and further farm consolidation. A second blow to farm equipment sales came in 1983 when the U.S. government introduced its PIK, or Payment in Kind, subsidy program. In order to reduce agricultural surpluses, farmers were paid to lower their production by setting aside part of their acreage. This reduction in planted acres reduced demand for farm machinery and demand for parts and service, since farmers were using their equipment less. Deere & Company responded to this crisis by building on their strengths in product innovation and distribution through its John Deere dealer network. R&D investments in product improvement and capital investment in manufacturing equipment and processes resulted in improved product quality and significant cost reduction. They also expanded their financial services, which provided the company with growth opportunities and synergistic benefits. John Deere Credit, one of the oldest suppliers of credit to agriculture, added commercial, consumer, and international divisions, and is now one of the largest finance operations in North America. During a time when economic and political upheaval forced many farmers and International Harvester, a large competitor, out of business, Deere remained financially sound. Deere was able to offer superior products, credit, and dealer service at a fair price in these difficult times. It was also during the 80s that Deere further developed its lawn and garden equipment business. Building on its reputation for quality agricultural equipment and a superior dealer network, Deere began to build its consumer business through product development and promotion. The ability to identify and respond to changes in the cultural and social environment has been a factor in the longevity and success of Deere & Company. In the century and a half since John Deere founded this company, America has changed from a largely rural economy where 90% of the population were involved in farming, to an urban society in which only 2% are involved in agriculture. One way the company adapted to this shift in demographics and lifestyle changes was by entering the lawn and grounds care business in the 1960s. By the 1990s, opportunities to grow this consumer business have become increasingly attractive. Significant shifts in demographic, cultural, and social forces have changed the market for lawn and gardening power equipment. These include an older but active population with increased interest in gardening as a hobby, dual-income families with more money but less time to landscape their yard, willingness to outsource lawn services to professionals, a quality and service-conscious consumer. Deere & Company has responded to this market opportunity.
We began about 2 years ago with a commitment to doubling the size of the business in commercial and consumer products. We began building factories and putting new resources on board, including hiring people. Our primary goals are to grow the business, almost doubling our sales by the year 2000.
Whether it's Iowa corn, California rice, or Louisiana cotton, John Deere knows a thing or two about harvesting. So for a change, we decided to have our engineers make something disappear. After all, somebody had to get mulching right. Introducing the Freedom Mulching System. While some may be impressed by its patents, we think you'll like the way it works, even on wet grass and leaves. Because although the problem was different, the name is still the same.